There are moments in life when everything seems to crumble without warning, as if the ground beneath our feet is falling apart, and the certainties that held us up yesterday evaporate today. A beloved bond that breaks, a job that loses its meaning, a phase that ends, leaving an echo in the soul. In the face of that, almost instinctively, we try to hold on, to go back, to rebuild what can no longer be. But this silent and constant struggle, isn't it what multiplies our suffering? What if resistance itself is the hidden origin of this wound? The ancient Buddhist masters pointed out an unchanging principle. Everything that is born changes. Everything that begins ends. Understanding it is not surrender, but awakening to a liberating truth. Have you ever found yourself trying to stop the inevitable, wishing a person wouldn't leave or a happy moment wouldn't end? And how many times has that wish caused even more distress instead of relief? The answer is clear. The more we try to freeze the natural flow of life, the more it hurts us with its movement. Holding on doesn't stop time, it only strengthens the chain that binds us to pain. On the contrary, accepting the changing gives us the opportunity to breathe again, to find an inner balance that doesn't depend on external circumstances. Think about the times you've held on to an empty relationship just out of fear of emptiness, or stayed in a job that extinguished your spirit because the familiar seemed safe. This invisible prison is built by ourselves. The mind, seeking certainty, clings to illusions and forgets that everything transforms. Bodies age, seasons turn, emotions come and go. There is an ancient metaphor that says trying to stop time is like trying to catch the wind with your hands. Yet, day after day, we insist on this impossible task. This resistance becomes a slow wound. We deny reality, blame fate, and sink into bitterness. But there is another option, surrendering to the truth that nothing remains, and in that surrender, finding strength. And before diving deeper, if this message begins to touch something in your heart, remember to leave your like, subscribe, and share this video. That way, you can continue exploring these teachings that bring us closer to a more conscious and lighter life. An ancient story tells that, in Buddha's time, a young man devastated by the death of his mother went to him, begging for a way to avoid further losses. The master asked him to bring mustard seeds, but only from homes where no death or suffering had ever occurred. The young man went through entire villages, knocked on every door, and found stories of pain, change, and farewells everywhere. Without giving a sermon, Buddha showed him that what unites all beings is impermanence. This principle, called anicca, is not theory. It is direct observation. Look around you. The days pass, emotions change. Even this thought you have now will soon disappear. Suffering is born when we forget this truth and try to freeze the ephemeral. Buddha did not ask for resignation, but lucidity. If everything changes, fear, sadness, and loss can also transform. Imagine living each moment with full awareness of its fleeting nature. How would you look at those you love? How would you value a hug, a smile, a moment of silence? Far from stealing something from us, impermanence invites us to live awake, to savor the brief beauty of each experience. Acceptance is not surrender, nor abandoning the fight for what matters. Acceptance is recognizing what we cannot control and stopping struggling against reality. A woman confessed to me that she spent years asking why her partner left, seeking impossible answers. One day, tired of suffering, she simply said, "She left, and I'm still here." That sentence freed her. When we stop fighting against what is, we feel a deep relief, like a long exhalation that opens the chest. Buddhism teaches that true freedom is not controlling the world, but transforming our relationship with it. You can't stop time, but you can change how you carry it within you. And in this silent change, the pain softens, the sadness becomes a teacher, and life regains its color. Often, our greatest struggle is against time. We want beautiful moments to last forever, for youth not to slip away, for the people we love never to change. But that battle is lost from the start. The harder we grip the breeze in our hands, the faster it escapes. This is how we lose the present, longing for what was or fearing what is to come. Life, however, only happens now. Each wrinkle is a testament to having lived. Each goodbye, though painful, is a sign that there was love. When we stop fighting against the clock, we discover that a morning coffee can be sacred, that a simple "I love you" can contain universes. Time is not the enemy. Suffering arises when we want the transient to be permanent. Embracing the passage of time is embracing life. Letting go is not losing. It is trusting. It is understanding that holding on to what has completed its cycle is like holding a burning rope. The tighter you hold, the more it hurts. Buddhist detachment is not indifference, but love without chains, feeling without depending, caring without controlling. There's a story of a monk and his disciple crossing a river. They helped a woman cross, carrying her so she wouldn't get wet. Hours later, the disciple, uneasy, asked why they broke the rule of not touching women. The master replied, "I left her on the shore. You're still carrying her." This is what we do with old wounds, harsh words, broken expectations. We carry them even though the moment has passed. Letting go is a process, not an instant act. It requires looking honestly at what hurts and accepting that some answers will never come. When you take a small step toward detachment, something inside you lightens. Buddha taught that the root of suffering is attachment to people, achievements, ideas, emotions. By letting go a little, you discover that the past no longer dominates you, that you can move forward without understanding everything. Fear may arise because letting go is walking into the unknown. But in that void, the new and authentic blossom. Letting go brings you back to yourself, not because it removes pain, but because it frees you from unnecessary weight. Acceptance is not a pretty concept, but a daily practice. The mind will want to control, anticipate, retain. The heart knows how to surrender with dignity. It just needs to be reminded. To cultivate acceptance, simple gestures are enough. Observing without judgment when a difficult emotion arises, naming it gently. This is sadness. This is fear. Breathing attentively to anchor yourself in the present, and repeating during tough moments, "This too shall pass." Because just as a storm is not eternal, neither is pain. Meditating a few minutes a day, in silence, repeating "I accept what is," can transform your relationship with life. Acceptance also lives in the everyday, letting go of a pointless argument, allowing yourself to cry without shame, stopping demanding that everything fits into your plans. Being human is feeling, falling, and rising. True changes usually come without noise. They don't announce their arrival. You simply wake up one day and realize that what hurt no longer hurts the same way. This is silent transformation. When external chaos no longer stirs your inner self, when you can listen without defending, wait without despairing, let go without breaking. Like bamboo bending in the wind without breaking, you too learn to adapt. You might feel like you're not progressing, but deep within your soul, something secretly blossoms. One day you wake up stronger, more compassionate, more you. Your new serenity radiates peace, even inspiring others without saying a word. Buddhism doesn't promise to eliminate pain, but it teaches not to feed it. Suffering stops being identity and becomes a passing station. When you stop begging for answers and just breathe, think, and keep walking, you discover that life doesn't need to be perfect to be valuable. Acceptance is the beginning of a lighter existence, where you can walk with an open heart, even with scars, where pain wakes you up but doesn't define you. And if this message resonated with you, if you felt clarity, relief, or company, I invite you again to leave your like, subscribe for more reflections, and share this content with someone who might need it. Thank you for joining me on this journey of wisdom and transformation. May every step you take bring you closer to inner peace and the strength that arises from embracing change.